I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it's storming really bad right now. And I fully expect the power to go out at some point while I'm trying to film this. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I don't know if you guys could tell or not, but everything just like flickered in the house. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I feel like I just made that happen. Okay, here's what we're talking about today. Game of Thrones comes back very, very soon. I'm so excited. I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. Full disclosure, I have not read the whole book series. I've read one book and like 40 pages of the second. That is something I plan to remedy soon, but I am very much into the show, and so I thought in honor of the show coming back, I would do the Game of Thrones tag with you guys. So let's just roll into the questions. Question 1, how did you discover the books and or series? I knew about the series first. We had an HBO subscription. Well, we still do have an HBO subscription. I had a very large True Blood sized hole in my heart, and I just needed something else to fall into, and Game of Thrones wound up being that. I have since, like I said, read the first book, which is very much in line with the first season of the show, and then I started the second book, and it lost me a little bit, but I do plan on revisiting and hopefully reading the whole thing when it's all said and done. Question 2, who is your favorite house other than the Starks and the Lannisters? Well, there are things I like and don't like about all of them, obviously. I don't have much reasoning for this, to be honest, but I want to say Baratheon. I like House Baratheon. I do not care for Stannis, like at all, but I loved Renly and wish we had more time with him. Side note, please don't get mad at me for spoilers. This game and these books, this show and these books have been around for a while, so I'm assuming if you're watching this tag, you're a fan of the show, so please don't yell at me in the comments for something that happened like a few years ago. Am I only choosing Baratheon because of Renly? Kind of, yes. Also, Renly brought us to Brienne, so because of those two characters, I'm choosing House Baratheon. Oh, and we can all agree that Robert was like a total drunk idiot, so he's whatever too. Question 3, who is your favorite character from House Stark? Arya. Hands down. Now, this is not a show for children, but I think she is a great role model. She is driven. She does not care what anyone else thinks. She's gonna do what she wants, and she's very, very motivated, and I like her character very much. So Arya is my favorite Stark. I miss Robb too, but that's for other reasons. Question 4, who is your favorite character from House Lannister? He drinks and he knows things. Obviously Tyrion. That's like the obvious answer, right? Tyrion is easily the most likable character in House Lannister. Also, I think he is by far the most entertaining character on the show, so I'm always like very happy to see him in scenes. Question 5, who is your favorite character? My favorite character in the entire show is Brienne of Tarth. I love her. She is amazing. We're talking about another like strong female kind of role model situation. She's fantastic. Again, very motivated, very, very extremely loyal, strong, doesn't care what anybody thinks. She has her business and she tends to it. And I love her. I love the actress. She's Captain Phasma in Star Wars too, so that's also like really exciting for me. I like her so much that I'm willing to forgive the Hound, because I actually really liked the Hound in that storyline with Arya too. So, way to go, Brienne. Question 6, who is your least favorite character? I feel like there are two very obvious answers to this question, and that's Ramsay Bolton and Joffrey. They were just so easy to hate. And again, spoiler, their deaths were so satisfying. In both situations, I feel like their deaths were incredibly satisfying. Is that a messed up thing to say about someone? It's fiction, I'm okay with it. And I know this is so weird, I keep thinking like, why did I pick Baratheon as my favorite house? Because I also super hated Stannis. Like, super hated Stannis. He got so many people killed for so many unnecessary reasons, and he was just like too power hungry, and maybe I need to rethink that question. I might go back to it at the end. I don't know what my favorite house is. Question 7, what are your thoughts on these series or books? I like it. It did take me a couple tries to get into the show. You get a lot of information thrown at you initially, I had a very hard time figuring out who was related to who. I don't know. I don't have the greatest attention span all the time, and so this show is not necessarily the best for that starting off. You need to kind of make an effort to follow it initially, but once you do, it's 100% worth it. Same thing happens with the books. I read the first book, and the second one just kind of lost me a little bit, but I am a fan, and I can't wait to see how this whole thing wraps up. Question 8. If you could be one of the characters, who would you be and why? I don't want to be anybody in this scenario. Everyone dies. No one is safe. Everyone has like really bad things happen to them. I'd go with an animal character, but like even bad shit happens to the dire wolves. Ooh, I got it. I would be Melisandre. There we go. I got magical powers. I can be beautiful all the time and nobody really knows what it looked like. And very influential and well kept as a result, if that makes any sense. So, I mean, this is kind of like picking the best turd out of the bowl, but if I had to choose someone to be from Game of Thrones, I guess it would be Melisandre. Question 9, what is your favorite episode or season? My favorite season is actually the first one. I think once I got into it, it did a really great job getting me involved in the characters and setting everything up, and then at the end, I mean, I wasn't familiar with the book, so I didn't know what was going to happen. It totally just knocked my freaking socks off that they just straight up killed the main character. Shows weren't doing that, I feel like, as much before Game of Thrones. Now it's kind of anybody's game. But I think the first season did like a really great job just setting up the rest of the show. My favorite episode it's a sad one. My favorite episode is the one where we lose Hodor. And it's my favorite because we finally get to find out what his deal is, who he is, why. That's the only thing he ever said. It just shed so much light on this character, and I thought it was really like moving and sad and awesome though too. So is that really gonna be my answer? I feel like I'm saying that a lot in this video. Hodor, that episode, I don't know what any of the episodes are called, I'm sorry, but that was probably my favorite one. Question 10 is my favorite. Are you ready? Who is your Game of Thrones crush? Who isn't my Game of Thrones crush? I have the hots for Jaime Lannister. Okay, well, the actors, not the characters. Okay, their characters are... We are just looking at them from a physical standpoint. How about that? I really like Jaime Lannister. I really like Jon Snow. I really like Robb Stark. Renly was adorable. I also have a little crush on Jorah. Now this one isn't as much physical as like his character. I really feel for Jorah a lot, and I'm sad for Jorah, and I have kind of a messed up crush on Littlefinger. Don't ask me why. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if I'm the only person that feels that way, because he's kind of a total creep, but also like something about him, right? I don't know. I have like 100 answers to this. Khal Drogo, he's about to be Aquaman. There are some good-looking gentlemen in Game of Thrones. So I could probably make a whole video on that, to be honest, but that is just the short list of my crushes. And the last question, what are you most looking forward to in the upcoming season? I am just so excited to see how this thing plays out. What I want is Tyrion, Daenerys, and Jon Snow right in the top of the dragons with their like fists in the air. Yes, that is what I want to happen. I don't want any more people I like to die, but that is probably inevitable. And I'm just I'm just excited. I'm just generally excited about the whole thing. So that is going to do it for the Game of Thrones tag. Let me know some of your answers to these questions down below. I still haven't figured out what my favorite house is. Maybe I don't have one. I have characters that I gravitate to, but I don't think there's one specific house that I'm like, yes. There are also, I mean, God, there's so many characters in the show. So many great characters I haven't even talked about. I didn't even mention Cersei. How did I do a Game of Thrones tag and not mention Cersei? Barely talked about Daenerys. Barely talked about Jon Snow. Should I call this video the Game of Thrones tag fail? Perhaps. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, I do make videos every single day, so hit subscribe if you would like to hang out on the daily. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye! It's Diet Coke.